Hey everybody, it's Debbie and I'm with Eugene, the manager at Urban Float down in Kirkland, Washington. And I really wanted to come back and share you guys the experience here because I think it's something we all need to do once in a while, because if you read my book, Life is Not a Race, and listen to the Whole Athlete podcast, we all need to slow down, disconnect, and unplug a little bit. And floating is something I discovered recently, and we did a podcast episode a few weeks ago about the importance of it. So we're going to get a little tour, but first kind of explain what floating is briefly.
Yeah, for sure. So we have a sensory controlled environment. We have these float tanks and there's water in there. It's a saltwater environment. And basically it's just like extremely buoyant. So you get in there and you have full sensory deprivation. There's no light, no sound, anything, and you can't really feel anything.
And no cell phones allowed.
No cell phones allowed,
right?
That's for sure, yeah.
Because I think that's what the challenge is. Why is this even necessary?
Yeah.
You know, what does it come to that we are so connected and on? Like I've had clients this morning, personal training, 5:30 a.m. straight to 11:45. I just went swimming 12 to 1. It's 1:30. I'm like on the go all the time, and I have to make my new life, since my adrenal exhaustion is supposed to be slowing down and adding more pauses throughout the day. And I think something like this forces you to go in that pause that you can't hear or see, and
it's just
floating.
nothing. It's true nothingness. Every second of every day we're experiencing some sort of sensory input, whether it be light or sound or noise or just something, feel the wind, the air. This is absolutely nothingness, and there's no other environment in the world that you can experience this. So it's pretty cool.
Talk a little bit why. We'll post the show notes and the link for the podcast, but why do people come here? What do you find this is beneficial? Who's kind of the client?
I mean, that's the cool thing about floating is we have probably the most diverse group of clientele. We have people who are coming athletes. It's great for after workouts because it lowers your cortisol levels.
Cortisol. We know about cortisol if you listen to the podcast.
Definitely. And that lactic acid buildup too, it cuts that. So it really helps your muscle recovery times. And then we have people who float just for general relaxation, that alone time, that self-time, that self-care, just to completely unplug and disconnect from the world.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of people, we've talked a lot of our episodes in the podcast about sympathetic dominance and the difference of measuring our heart rate variability, being able to go switch back to parasympathetic. Sympathetic is good, but because we're on the go nonstop, we're sympathetic dominance, we don't have that resiliency. So this kind of almost teaches you to get in that parasympathetic state, I think, because you're floating, doing nothing for an hour and trying to learn how to unplug.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's good. So let's go back here and see kind of what you have. So kind of walk us through the procedure for a new client that come in.
Yeah, for sure. So we have this nice little pre-float room right here. So we walk you in, we sit you down, we have you fill out a really quick safety release
peek
form.
in there.
And we have some tea and water that we'll serve you. We have a nice fireplace. It's very relaxing.
This is kind of the prep room because people need to start to unwind a little bit before you transition to get into the pod, or else it's probably harder to totally let yourself go.
Certainly.
And unwind in the pod.
Yeah, I mean, you just came from work, you just came from your home, and this is a nice space to just spend a couple minutes and kind of unwind. And then we take you into our room. So right here is our room 6. And here we have a float pod, a shower, a bench. It's kind of the full
Give
ordeal.
the tour, you guys can see. So this is the pod. I was thinking you're my age, Mork and Mindy TV shows.
Yeah.
You're in your little space capsule. But this is the water. Talk about what's in here that you're floating.
So we have about a foot of water. It sits to about almost to your knees, maybe a foot and a half. And basically, there's 1,200 pounds of salt in here. So it's an extremely buoyant solution. It takes absolutely zero effort to float. You go in there and you close the lid, and what that does is it kind of traps in that air temperature. That air temperature, your body temperature, and the water temperature is all so similar that without any sort of audio input or without any sort of visual input, you lose complete sense of where you are. It does take about 10-15 minutes of non-movement to enter that state. But once you're there, it's crazy. Time flies. You don't really know what's going on. It's just kind of this very deep relaxation, meditation, tranquil state.
Have you looked at the brain waves? Have you guys looked at that? Because that's what I've talked about in a podcast a long time ago about the brain waves. When you, I'll ride a bike, for example, and be such in a brainwave state that you're so relaxed that I'm like, wait, did I pass that road? I have no idea where I am. But that in here seems like you're totally out of it in a way.
Very similar state, yeah. And we don't really have that technology yet. At least in practice. I mean, I'm sure it's there. We use headbands that are really popular, and those measure brainwaves and brainwave activity.
Well, not that you're measuring it here, but example, when you're in that set of mind state, that you're in such a relaxed meditative state that you could be, you don't, like you said, you don't know where you are, and then you could be floating in the ocean in Hawaii or the Caribbean, or maybe you're
or in bed at home.
In bed.
Yeah, no, you totally lose complete sense of where you are. You definitely enter that state. It's quite phenomenal, and that state can really help with trauma, pain relief, PTSD. It's kind of a cure-all. You know, it's kind of hard to say that word these days, but it really is. But common practice of this. Continued floating, not letting it go more than 10 days in between floats, you're really going to see those physical benefits and those mental benefits.
Talk about the magnesium, because you float in here, it's like a big, huge Epsom salt bath.
Yes.
Because you're floating on top, and you're just like your head even floats. So talk about the benefits a little bit of the magnesium.
Yeah, so with the 1,200 pounds of salt comes an extremely high level of magnesium. That magnesium throughout the float kind of just absorbs into your muscles. It absorbs into your blood flow. It really helps with circulation, joint pain, muscle pain.
Well, because we say your skin is a mouth, so anything you put on your skin quickly absorbs.
Exactly.
So that's a great way to do it than having to take magnesium pills.
Exactly, yeah. No, this is a great way to supplement your diet with magnesium for anyone who's deficient.
So muscle cramping,
all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's just kind of
deficient.
Yeah, and I'd say like a lot of people with like the circulation really is increased, and that helps with weight loss. Any sort of heart issues sometimes, anything like that. It really helps kind of help you with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's not detoxifying though, really. You're not taking out toxins because you're not
really, but that salt definitely is absorbing into your body, and that in itself kind of acts like a detoxification process where you're boosting your electrolytes and stuff like that.
Yeah, magnesium and nutritional therapy. As a nutritional therapy practitioner, we do a lot of mineral tests, and mineral imbalance is a common thing when we do people's assessment, and then we do a hands-on testing with blood pressure cuff and see how long they can go before cramping, an onset of cramp. And magnesium is often something we test that's deficient, and it happens with calcium. It's in or out of balance of your minerals, and I think it's usually the magnesium that could be benefited from a lot of people because their digestion system, there's a reason why we're low in magnesium. It goes back looking at digestion, but this is a good way to help it. So let's just get started on the steps, how we get in there so people feel more comfortable when they come in.
Yeah, so step one, we do require a shower before the float. Right here we have the body wash and shampoo, the two on the left.
So what's the benefit? You're just trying to keep it cleaner that you do the body wash?
Yep. You want to get rid of all the sorts of oils and dirt on your body, any sort of in your hair, any sort of oils. So we're getting rid of all that. We do have conditioner as well that we ask that you only use after the float, just to keep the water in the pod at an ideal environment.
And then afterwards you shower, shampoo, and conditioner, but what's the use? Why do you put the white vinegar in your ear?
Yeah, so white vinegar dissolves salt. That's just kind of what it's known for. So any sort of vinegar that might be stuck in your ear, that vinegar, or any sort of salt that might be stuck in your ear, that vinegar is going to dissolve after it flows.
So let's catch this, because I know this is a big cue. When it circulates like this, what is that doing, and what does that mean? Yeah,
so this is our filtration system. This is going to kick on just randomly whenever the pod's not in use. It also does a very, very thorough post-session filtration system. And that post-session filtration system basically sucks all that water out of the pod, takes it into a standalone water source in the back, runs it through a filter several times, and it kind of circulates it back into the pod.
So a lot of times, I think people think, okay, I'm sharing a bathtub because you're naked usually here. So you don't want to share a bath with all these strangers. Who knows what they do in here? You know, you just kind of creeps people up. So how do they know it's clean water?
So there's several different things. So that filtration system is going to pull out hair and sweat molecules, stuff like that. But if you're looking for specific like bacteria, virus, that kind of stuff, you know, salt is basically going to kill almost everything. There's only 2 strains of bacteria or virus that can survive in this environment. And for that reason, the state does require us to use just a little bit of chlorine. So there is trace amounts of chlorine in here. We tested about 3 parts per million. So we do test the water twice a day, so we know that we have an extremely clean environment for you. But for the sanitation, it's that salt as the main, filter as a secondary, and the chlorine is our backup there just in case anything didn't make it.
Good. So then I am going for a session. So first up, you go put the earplugs in.
So you actually put the earplugs in before you get in the shower. That way your ears are dry and you have a much better chance to get your plugs stay in throughout the entire flow.
And what's the benefit of earplugs? So you don't get salt water.
It's just preference. Yeah, some of our members actually don't wear earplugs. It's really just up to you. I personally can't stand having my ears flooded with salt, so I always wear earplugs.
Okay, so we put earplugs in. I go shower.
Yes, and then after the shower,
shampoo and body rinse.
Yes, ma'am. And then after the shower, you're gonna take the small hand towel and dry your face really good.
Okay.
Now, having a dry face is actually really important. It's gonna reduce the urge of touching or wiping your face. That's kind of like our one rule is to not touch your face.
So not to touch your face.
Yeah, don't touch your face. There's so much salt in here that if you were to touch your face, it could get into your eyes, nose, and mouth and sting really, really bad.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
You want to avoid that. So just don't touch your face. Once you have a dry face, before you get in the pod, flip this light switch right here. That's going to turn off the room light. At all times, you'll have full control over the pod light. So just make sure that room light is off before you get into the pod.
And then you go in, and then you grab, when you're in here, you shut the pod down.
Yeah, so the easiest way is when you're standing in there to close it while you're sitting down. And then once you're down there, put your arms down on the floor, slowly let your legs out, and you'll automatically float with zero effort.
And then this, I used last time, this goes around your neck.
Yeah, so that is optional. You can put that in your neck or knees or anywhere that you'd like. I will say that we recommend trying it without that first because we do test the buoyancy twice a day, so we know there's enough salt in there for
Okay.
you.
So if you don't float, there's not enough salt?
Oh yeah, no, everyone's gonna float. The thing is everybody's body is just a little different. So you might have more buoyant spots in certain places. So some people like that on their legs or neck or something like that, but I definitely recommend trying it without that first. Another tip is you can change your arm position. So when you're in there, you're probably gonna start with your arms down. If you feel like you might need more support somewhere, bring your arms up or cross your arms. A change of position is gonna change your buoyancy and kind of just change your how you spread and
Yeah, I
space
like
yourself.
doing this for a little bit, then I'm doing this, but just to open up the shoulders too, a little more stretching.
So what's interesting about that, when I first started floating, I had a really bad shoulder injury, and I couldn't float with my arms down. It was impossible. And after about a month or two of floating, I was slowly able to bring my arms from here down to here, and then slowly rotate my shoulders back and float like this.
Wow.
And that's like little tangible evidence that we have of floating, helping bodies.
And then buttons, and then let's go to music.
Yeah, so we have an emergency button there just in case there is, you never have an emergency, but in case you need our help, you can press that.
I'm falling and I can't get up, and
Exactly.
you got your button on
You
the
got a
right.
light switch, light switch on the left.
So once you're in there, it's blue light now, as you can see, but you can push the button, so then it's totally dark, so that's your, in the dark.
And that's what you're shooting for.
Okay.
Yeah, but sometimes people like to have a light on for the first couple minutes or even the first couple floats. Sometimes it's hard to experience nothingness for your first time. People don't like to just be alone with their thoughts and nothing else. So sometimes having a light on or having the music playing is a nice way to kind of ease into it.
So it's kind of like Shavasana in yoga. You enter Shavasana, but here you're in Shavasana for an hour.
Yes.
And I find, like, if I'm not good at meditating, sitting there at meditation, this is a great way to kind of learn how to do that. Because you have to, is there little tricks you find to give people that are ADD, type A personalities that don't know how to stop and be still? How do we be in there and not be like, oh my God, how much longer do I have?
So one thing I try to tell people for their first time is don't think about that. Don't stress. There's no right or wrong time. Like my first float, I was in there for 15 minutes and I got out. Couldn't handle it, right? So people like that, it's important for them to experience that themselves and learn through it and grow through it. And then the next time they float, hey, maybe you should play music the whole time. Maybe leave the light on. And then they get in for 30 minutes. And then the next time they come in, they float for an hour. And they slowly get involved in it and comfortable with it. It's very rare that you perfectly get your first float. And that's totally fine. That's the wonder of it. If you get it perfectly your first time, awesome. But, you know, it's not the end of the world if you don't.
And then when you're done, because you're not looking at time, because you're in the dark, how do you know it's an hour time is up? It starts circulating.
Yeah, so that's the final warning. We like to recommend music in the beginning and the end, because that's the true experience of the house silence. And when you have that 5 minutes of music at the end kick on, that's your 5-minute warning. After those 5 minutes, the light turns on, and then our filtration system starts signifying that it's time to start your shower.
So the last 5 minutes the music comes on, or what time?
Yeah, when there's 5 minutes left, the music comes on, and then a couple minutes later, the filtration system starts, and that's your cue that it's time to get out and start your post-session shower.
Okay, so post floating, is there something that we should do, like a hot, cold shower?
So for the first shower before the float, we recommend not going too hot. You don't want to raise your internal body temperature too much. And then after the float, no rules. You know, we do like to have you not take more than 15 or 20 minutes, but you can take as hot and long of a shower as you want, whatever you're comfortable with.
I wonder if it'd be beneficial, a little hot cold therapy, that you hot and then cold for 30 seconds, hot, if that's kind of like a...
Yeah, that might open up your pores or something, or kind of let the magnesium absorb a little better.
Hydrotherapies.
Yeah.
Okay, and then afterwards, what do typically people feel like? Do you feel like I need to go lie down, have a nap, or do you just kind of feel this sense of
So that's what's so cool about this, is that it varies. And I think it varies on what's going on in your state of mind, in your life. And also, what time of day it is. Are you floating in the morning? Are you floating at night? Are you tired before the float? A lot of people who float before work, they'll come in and they'll feel energized, ready to take on the day after the float. Versus people who float at night, sometimes they'll get out of the float and they'll just feel like extremely relaxed and zen out, you know?
Yeah.
So it just depends on the person.
And then last thing, we need to get me in there, but the pre-floating, the no caffeine,
Yes.
the exercise, what are kind of the do's and don'ts?
Yeah, so-
Do's and don'ts not to do, or shooting before the session.
Of course, yeah. So you're essentially you want to shoot to be as neutral as possible before the float. So with that being said, avoid caffeine a couple hours before, avoid alcohol a couple hours before.
No drinking and floating.
You want to be, and then you don't want to be hungry. You don't want to be hungry or full. So, you know, depending on your body type, maybe a small bite to eat right before or a larger meal a couple hours before. The last thing you want to do is be full in there, and then you also don't want to get hit with a hunger roll and then just pull you out of your zen state. So just as neutral as you possibly can be before coming in is what you're shooting for. Also, skip shaving. You don't want to shave before getting in here because it's going to sting pretty bad.
Because your pores are open.
Exactly.
So Mondays I've been doing my own thing. We do a 5-day detox at my studio once a month, but I've been doing it every Monday, doing kind of a cleanse, detox type of day that I'm just doing liquids and doing some type of therapy for myself. Like if it's infrared sauna or if it's doing this. So I think it's good to, you know, I wouldn't want to eat something big. It's kind of good to do it on your healing day. Like one day a week, have a day that you're doing more liquids, green drinks, we do bone broth, and just have this part of our cleanse day.
Definitely. Yeah, no, that's very on point. You know, you don't want to. It's a healing process, so you don't want to be putting stuff in your body that goes against that before coming in here, right?
Don't have margaritas.
No, margaritas after float to be okay.
With chips and salsa.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So any questions, people can go to urbanflow.com.
Of course, yeah. Everything's on our website, urbanflow.com. We also have an Instagram page and a Facebook page, so you can check us out there.
And then any new client specials, or you guys?
Yeah, so we do a new customer rate of $45, and we also have a Valentine's Day special right now, and that's going to be 2 floats for $90.
Not 2 people in here at once.
Unfortunately, it's just 1 person per pod.
No kinky floating.
Not in this location.
No, you mean there's others.
Well, not for Urban Flow. Not for Urban Flow.
That's funny. So get a new client special, I think, to start, because you need to get comfortable. So it's good to have a new client kind of intro special to get comfortable to it, and then do it once a week.
I want to mention we do have a first time 3-pack for $135. That's a really nice way to get into it to see if you like it. Like I said, usually the first float is the best. It takes a couple of times to get your body used to it and see if it's beneficial enough for you to make part of your schedule. And if it is, we set up recurring appointments once a week, once a month, whatever's covered.
Good. And you're open a lot of hours too.
Oh yeah, we're always open.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys. Hopefully come enjoy it and add it to your mind-body treatment, and maybe a weekly kind of habit to do take care of you. So we're about slowing the aging process down. We did our biohack health fair in January and looking at something in April to keep learning ways to slow the aging process down, how I can improve performance in life and sports. I think stuff like this to repair body and recover faster is definitely something I'm trying to add into my lifestyle, as well as I know other people I know. So thanks for your time today, and I'm going to go get ready and get in here myself and unplug. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Debbie.